Sports. And now, the HBO Sports presentation, Inside the NFL.
This week, a trip to Florida where the Buccaneers are 3-0. Among those joining us will be Keyshawn Johnson and defensive tackle Warren Sapp. In our cover story, Sean King is trying to become the greatest show in Tampa. And now, from Raymond James Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl 35 and Keyshawn Bowl 1, it's Inside the NFL.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the home of the best team in the NFL right now. And if the Bucs continue to dominate, they'll be the first team to play in a Super Bowl on their own home turf, which is right down there. This is the game when the Bucs will be hosting the Jets. Keyshawn Johnson saying a lot of negative things about his old teammates. Chris, you'll be talking to Keyshawn later on the program. But, Jerry, I want to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, everybody knows Tampa Bay's got a good defense. They've had that for years. But I watched the film, and they're blitzing a whole lot more. So I asked Monty Kiffin, their defensive coordinator, why all the blitzes? He said, Coach, 2 out of the 3 teams they played this year would not block the blitz. And they weren't going to block it. They're going to keep on bringing it.
Jerry, I love what they're doing against the run. They're running a gap-oriented, aggressive defense with McFarland and Sapp upfield. They want to spill everything inside to Derek Brooks. He's the hitman in this defense, and he's playing great.
Well, I have a different reason why they're blitzing. I think you look at this offense right now. Last year, if the Bucs defense tried to blitz a lot, play man coverage, got beat for a big play down the field, they could lose the game 10-7. But now with the way the Bucs offense is playing and Sean King, all of a sudden now you can take more chances on defense.
Offense, how about those all pros? Randall McDaniel, Jeff Christie came over from the Vikings. They're all playing in that offensive line, doing a great job. And how about this guy, Keyshawn Johnson? He's opening up the middle of the field. He's a big play guy. That's why this offense is humming, Leonard.
How about the young quarterback in his second year, Sean King? He has not thrown an interception or fumbled a football. He believes if he doesn't give up the ball, they're going to win the football game, and it has been working. You know, for the Bucs and the Lions, last week wasn't too early to label their matchup a big game.
Normally, the third game of the year is not that big, but that is not the case here today at the Pontiac Silverdome. A sellout crowd on hand. The 2-0 Detroit Lions against the 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A battle for first place in Week 3 of the NFC Central Division.
It was Detroit's day to turn up the intensity, but instead the Lions turned the game over to Tampa Bay. The Lions' lack of focus was evident when number 74 James Atkins didn't bother to block Warren Sapp, who had 3 sacks.
Sack by Sapp! You go get him, number 99!
The Bucs, who finished last in red zone touchdown percentage in 1999, now lead the league in 2000. While Tampa Bay scored 4 touchdowns and 5 red zone possessions against Detroit, the Lions' only offensive touchdown this season came right before halftime.
Steps up in the pocket, got to unload it, does so downfield, and this one is caught. Touchdown! Lions 2-0!
Tony Dungy's new offense is now capable of touchdown trickery.
King takes the snap, bootleg, throws the pass, wide open, touchdown Tampa Bay!
Randall McDaniel usually lines up at left guard, but in the red zone he lined up as a fullback. McDaniel was able to slip into the secondary uncovered. Tampa Bay is now 3-0 for only the second time in team history.
But I really think this ball should go to the offensive coaching staff, devising the plan to take care of these guys, neutralize them well, did what we talked about doing. Physical, took care of the edges. Great job, offensive coaches. Hey, let's get it up.
Get it up. You know what it's all about. You know what it's all about. First place. On 3. 1, 2, 3. First place.
Ahoy, matey. Last Sunday in Chicago, New York's ship sailed in on a wave of red, white, and giant blue. At the helm of the Giants' resurgent air attack, Kerry Collins threw a touchdown pass in the first quarter. While Collins has earned his stripes, Chicago's defense had New York seeing stars. A fumble by the usually reliable Tiki Barber kept the Bears afloat, while leaving Barber with a sinking feeling. While the Bears' defense kept the game close, Chicago's only offense came 14 seconds before halftime. The Giants shut out Chicago in the second half as the Bears had a mere 56 yards total offense. Tiki Barber atoned for his fumble with the winning touchdown in the third quarter. At 3-0, the Giants are enjoying a banner year thus far under Jim Fossil and will play at home this week against the rival Washington Redskins.
Hey, Monday night, baby. Monday night. Let's go, baby. Let's do it.
85,000 Redskins fans watched their team start strong.
Hands it off to Bailey on a reverse coming right. And they block Akins. Bailey to the 30. Bailey up the right side to the 50. Champ Bailey down the sideline to the 32-yard line.
Return helped the Redskins take a brief 7-0 lead.
Johnson will give it to him. Coming in left tackle. He's to the 5. He's into the end zone. Cunningham back to throw with a great play fake. Deep down the left side. Warren all alone at the 40. Chris Warren lined up on a linebacker, and he takes it all the way home.
We're back in this thing. We're back in this thing. Keep it up. Relentless. Relentless. Relentless.
Randall Cunningham was sacked like the Randall of old. But he also ran like the Randall of old.
In the end zone, baby. In the end zone.
Emmitt Smith's 3-yard touchdown run helped give the Cowboys a 14-7 lead in the second quarter.
Hey. Good in L.A. Way to go, Flo. We're ready, baby. Keep the fire burning. Wide 20.
Dexter Coakley ignited the Dallas defense.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. What's up? What's up? Let's go. That's why we work so hard. Right here. Right here. Do or die. Do or die.
Rolling right now, cuts back left, throws it over the middle. Harris at the 15 to the 10 to the 5, diving to the goal line. Touchdown, Jackie Harris.
Yes. Hey. It's on us. It's on us, Captain. It's on us. It's on us.
Brad Johnson's touchdown pass to Mike Sellers helped Washington cut the Cowboy lead to 24-21 late in the fourth quarter.
This is why you love to play this game. This is why you love to play it right here. Huh? We got to go back out there. We got to stop their ass. Find a way. Get it done. Find a way. Let's get it done, all right? We're going to win it on defense. Can't wait to get back out there. Let's go.
Clinging to a 27-21 lead with time running out, Dallas's defense finished off the Redskins.
Intercepted at the 31-yard line. The Cowboys are running it back. Izell Reese.
Listen up. Listen up. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let me tell you something. It doesn't get any better than playing the Redskins on Monday Night Football. And kicking it doesn't get any better.
First win, baby. We ain't played right here the first two games. I ain't the Cowboys. This is the Cowboys right here.
Show them every week. Show them every week.
Hey, today's game, man, goes to Capo. Capo's first win, baby.
The Atlanta Falcons' favorite mode of ground transportation is running back Jamal Anderson, who helped carry his team to victory against the Panthers last Sunday. For most of the day, Jamal ran all over Carolina, and he even got the last laugh after his only gap.
Pitch left side, Jamal Anderson. Anderson 45-50, 40, 35, 30, far far sideline. Straight arm loses the football. Carolina comes up with it in the end zone. Oh, no.
Oh, yes, it was ruled a safety. 2 points for Atlanta, helping them to their second win.
The Sunshine Skyway Bridge, the link between Sarasota and the Bay Area, just like Keyshawn Johnson is the link between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Jets. Nice quiet week for you this week, huh?
It should be.
You know, this has really been such an interesting war of the words sort of going on between you and the New York Jets. Seems like you're really still a little bit bitter about the fact they traded you.
No, I mean, I think anytime you come and ask me a question, I'm going to express.
We know that, and we appreciate that.
I'm going to answer it, and I think once you get into that situation where you have to answer it, then it becomes, well, he's bitter. Well, you ask me a question. If I don't say anything, then you're going to say, I'm still bitter because I won't talk about it. So, you know, I can't win either way it go, but I'm excited to play him. I'm ready to go, you know.
You said this week you wouldn't shake Al Groh's hand. How come?
Well, I don't have to, first of all, and I don't respect a person that won't talk to me at all. Like me and you, we went at odds in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, we're cool now. You
right.
Come and get me anytime you want to. I think in the situation of trading me as a head coach, I think you're supposed to let a person know, hey, I'm getting ready to get rid of your butt. You know, and you know, it was nice coaching with you, but bye-bye. Rather than do that, nothing. He said nothing at all.
Why do you think that he traded you? I mean, obviously it wasn't talent, perhaps money, personality maybe?
I mean, if you're around a guy for 4 years and you see that he's doing well and he's getting along with everybody and he's winning football games for you and he's doing no trouble, doesn't do anything, nothing, zip. You would think that a person would say, oh, I can get along with him. I can get along with anybody, you know, just talk to me. And I think that he probably came to the decision that the best thing for him to do was probably to trade me to get other picks. Maybe it was that he felt that he couldn't control me for whatever reason. I've never been a person that anyone couldn't control. Dungy didn't have any problems. Parcells never had any problems. Kotite really didn't have any problems. And John Robinson never had problems. Those are the 4 coaches that I've had since I've been playing sports. And if you want to go to high school, those guys never had any problems. So I don't know if that is what triggered the trade.
Al Groh has placed a gag order on the Jets. They're not allowed to talk about you. Are you at all?
But they can talk to me, though. They can call me.
Are you at all worried about getting them fired up, or do you think there's some conspiracy to come get you in this game?
Oh, no, not at all. Those are friends of mine over there, and they want to play against me, and I think that they've been waiting for it just as much. I think Al Groh wants to try and keep it as low-key as possible, just keep it low-key. Just doesn't want to. You know, he's already got enough heat on his back. You know, it's like every win is pressure. You know, with every loss is going to be even more pressure. So he wants to just try to clean it up as much as possible. And guys over there are my friends. And I talk to them all the time. I talk to them all the time. And you know, they call me and they read little quotes and stuff in the paper on my cell phone, play little games. But it'll be fun to play against them this week. It'll be weird, but it'll be fun.
3-0 against 3-0. Good luck this week.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
All right, Lenny, back to you.
Keyshawn Johnson, a man who is never at a loss for words. Last week, his former team, the Jets, took on a Buffalo squad that knew exactly what they wanted to do.
We stack them and we pack them, and we ship their ass on out. Let's play hard, man. Let's get some freaking respect. They don't respect us. Let's go out and get it. Lineman on 3. 1, 2, 3, now.
In the showdown between the AFC East unbeatens, the Bills drew first blood. Eric Mold's catch capped an 80-yard, 14-play drive.
Nice job right there.
He ran over top. That's why I came back.
The Jets came back one play later.
Kevin Williams at the 4, running straight ahead. He's to the 15, outside of the 20, across the 30. He's to the 35, down the sideline, 50, to the 40. Kevin Williams to the 30, to the 20, 55, touchdown. 96 yards for Kevin Williams.
While not putting up great numbers this season, quarterback Vinny Testaverde continues to win games and is now 16-2 as a starter in New York. And coupled with Curtis Martin in the backfield, the Jets have plenty of offensive firepower.
Touchdown. It is Curtis Martin.
But a defensive letdown by New York allowed the Bills to tie the game just before intermission.
Side of the catch is made, and they will not catch Jeremy McDaniel. He's going for a touchdown, and that is just inexcusable.
Buffalo, however, had a defensive lapse of their own coming on the last play of the half.
Steps up in the pocket to throw, airs it out, throws it into the end zone, and the catch is made! The catch is made for a touchdown! Who made the catch? Marcus Coleman! Wow.
Starting cornerback Marcus Coleman's first ever reception gave New York the halftime lead.
You got two guys, I know that. But there's a big old hole over there, man. And you're the only guy that can fix it. All right? You got to stay in there.
Number 95, Rick Lyle and the rest of the Jets defense shut down the running lanes and dominated the line of scrimmage in the second half, holding Buffalo scoreless over the final 30 minutes. Up 13 in the fourth quarter, the Jets' prevent defense ensured their first 3-0 start since 1966.
And this one will go in the record books as a Jet victory, their third straight. And with the prospects of Keyshawn on the boys next week, it should loom to be very interesting.
3-0, baby, 3-0.
We're going down to see Keyshawn. We're going to come see you, Keyshawn, just to say hello.
After throwing for 386 yards in the previous week's game, Mark Brunell was licking his chops at the prospect of picking apart lowly Cincinnati. Keenan McCardell was the primary target on the receiving end of half of Brunell's completions, including the game's only touchdown. While the brunt of Hurricane Gordon missed Jacksonville, the Bengals were still left sucking wind, turning the ball over 4 times and gaining just 230 total yards. The Jaguars' defense also racked up 5 sacks and recorded the first shutout in team history, leaving some of the Bengals wishing they were playing elsewhere. Not so long ago, Pittsburgh was among the NFL's big boys, but lately the Steelers have had trouble measuring up. And early on against the Browns, the Steelers' growing pains continued.
The action fake, couch in the pocket, looking right side, Edwards wide open, touchdown!
Cleveland led 14-0 before a rejuvenated Steeler ground game took over.
He's off left tackle and he walks into the end zone from 10 yards away. Jerome Bettis cracks the 100-yard barrier and the Steelers take the lead.
It proves short-lived thanks to the Browns' longest play in 6 years. This catch and carry set up Phil Dawson's third field goal of the day in a 23-20 Cleveland lead. Still, the Steelers mounted a drive, and with 14 seconds remaining, they opted to run one more play from the 6-yard line rather than attempt a field goal. Courtney Brown's third sack effectively ended the game, but it shouldn't have, because while Pittsburgh's decision was questionable, the officials were flat out incorrect. NFL rules stipulate that a timeout of at least 5 seconds be automatically called any time a quarterback is sacked. No such time was granted, giving Cleveland its first win at home in 5 years. If that rivalry had the most bizarre ending, the Raiders and Broncos version may still be the most intense.
I got it tight, baby. Let's get that back. Let's get that back. What time is it? What time is it? It's on 3. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Get respect by these AFC West teams. We want to be dominant. Got to dominate this team today. Let's go Raiders on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Broncos may be less bellicose than the Raiders, but they have a quiet bravado and an underrated young quarterback who is yet to throw an interception this season. Ed McCaffrey's spectacular tightrope act gave Denver a 7-0 lead on their first possession. On the next series, Denver's defense ran a stunt and threatened to run away with the game.
Gannon through a play fake, looks left, pressured, ball knocked out of his hands. I think that's going to be a fumble, and Trevor Price has it. Price 15, 10, 5. That is a Denver touchdown.
They ain't ready for us today, baby.
Remember last week, these guys think nothing at 21 down.
Oh, yeah,
we got to keep screwing.
As predicted, the Raiders were undaunted by the deficit.
Gannon looking middle, throws, caught, Tim Brown, touchdown, Raiders.
Right, like he's stepping up into the pocket, make sure that we just come back in on him, all right?
Yeah, I got an inside move waiting for him. Yes. We're starting to feel him out. They're getting real hesitant.
Oakland did knock Brian Griese around. But Griese's got moxie, and even after getting knocked down, he didn't back down.
Griese on the play fake throws a low pass, and Howard Griffith with a great catch will walk into the end zone.
Gotta get back in this one. It's gonna come up front. Let's go. Let's have some fun while we're out there now. Let's take our game to the next level together, baby.
We want to get the ball in the little man's hand to make a big play, okay, to get him outside.
The little man was Napoleon Kaufman, and he came up with a huge play.
First down midfield, Kaufman may go. 30, Kaufman 20. Kaufman being chased from behind and pulled down by Buckley on the 1-yard line. 2nd and 7, Gannon now under pressure, throws, caught. Tim Brown wide open.
Tim Brown's 77th TD catch set a new Raider record and narrowed the deficit to 7 points. Then just before halftime, Oakland's special teams erased the deficit altogether.
And the Raiders are going to have a touchdown. And that is Randy Jordan, who got the block and the recovery. And the Raiders, with a blocked punt, are a point away from tying the game at 24.
Thanks to their second quarter surge, the Raiders gained a tie but lost momentum. In the second half, the Broncos ground down the silver and black behind the spectacular running of backup Mike Anderson and 3 Joe Nedney field goals. The youthful Broncos ultimately proved more powerful and poised in this sanguine game.
Hey, listen up. I've never been more proud of a group of guys in my life. You guys came in here. All of a sudden at halftime, we get a lead. Lead goes. You guys keep on fighting your ass off, and good things happen. That's what happens when you stick together. Mike Anderson, you come into the game. TD, right before the game, he can't go. We got one tailback going in the game. Game ball, Mike Anderson. Yeah. Next thing, I'm on the sideline, take a look. I go over to this quarterback over here, number 14. I look at his chin. It looks like he needs about 10, 12 stitches. Doesn't even phase him. Brian Griese, that's one of the best games.
Coming up on HBO, Inside the NFL.
Highlights of a man who achieved stardom through the air while his former team gained victory on the ground. And we look back to the very humble beginning of the Buccaneers.
As Inside the NFL's roadshow continues from Tampa Bay, home of the world's best cigars.
You may be blowing smoke, but I'm not, because I'm with the best defensive tackle in the world. I'm watching your defense this year, Warren. It's even better than last year. What's going on?
Well, I think we're a lot more seasoned in the system that we're running, and with that, we're just going out and playing well together, and we're just getting after people.
3 games, and you had the Defensive Player of the Week. You had Derek Brooks, you had Rondé Barber, and now Warren Sapp. 3 guys, the MVP of the league for that week on defense.
Yeah, I'm a little late to the party.
I'm watching you have a new tackle next to you. You got Anthony McFarland. He looks like he has as much ability as you. Is he making you a better player?
I think he has. I think the one thing about it is he's an absolute clone of me. He's just a half an inch shorter than I am, and a couple years on the season. But the thing about it is he had a breakout game last week, but he's been playing real well for us the first 2 weeks, and the numbers just haven't been there for him. And it's good that he got some numbers the way he can build his confidence and go into the rest of the season.
How about last year, all of a sudden, you're the most valuable player in the league on defense. What went through your mind when you won that award?
I thought somebody miscounted. You know what? Because the defense that we play is, you know, I have to credit my teammates around me because they put me in a position to where I can go out and make those plays and get the notoriety. But, you know, I have a pretty good guy behind me in Derrick Brooks, and Lynch is a great player also. And the other guys on the line are doing a good job of, you know, freeing me up at times and getting the double teams off of me where I can go out and make plays.
I know you were close to Culpepper and Nickerson. They both left the squad. How did you feel when that happened?
Well, Hardy was, you know. I kind of said he jumped off the train, but just hope he ain't standing on the track when they come back through.
You going to run over him?
Exactly. That's exactly how it's going to go down. But the Brad thing was kind of our decision, and, you know, it kind of caught me off guard because they didn't tell me, they didn't let me know, and I figured out that, you know, this is a business, but something like that was more personal for me because me and him shared a lot more than just football together. You know, we went out together and, you know, we talked. And
you're brothers.
Hey, he woke me up in the meeting when I was sleeping, so I got no scapegoat now. I got to kind of stay up on my own, but, you know, sad to see him go, but I know he's going to be a good player in this league for a very long time, and he's still got some more good football left in it.
Have you found teams not picking up your blitz? You're blitzing more than ever this year.
It's no more than we've ever did, but there's a situation where we caught some people in some, you know, different kind of protections and run. They got free, and, you know, he's running around thumping his chest talking about, you know, getting sacks. I said, if nobody blocks it, you're supposed to put it down. But I took the lead back from him, and I'll put him in a close distance.
What if the year gets over and Rondé has more sacks than Warren Sapp? No way?
Not going to happen.
Hey, thanks for being with us. Back to you, Lenny.
The Bucs defense is scary. You know, they're playing better than they did last year, but the biggest improvement on this team is on offense, where they're averaging 31 points a game. The main reason is because of the play of a local hero, second-year quarterback Sean King. And to all those Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans who saw the movie Titanic, they believe this king is king of the world.
Monday night, 60 miles outside Tampa, the King's subjects gather en masse, awaiting his arrival, eager to offer a royal reception.
Sean, I think there are more people outside of the restaurant than there are in, which when you look around is hard to believe that there's this many people here, but just a testament to the Buck fans.
And a testament to just how far Sean King has come, that the questions are no longer about his size and skill, but whether he can repeat his surprise performance of a year ago, when late in the season the rookie came off the bench and coolly steered the Bucs to the NFC title game.
When you look around the league, I mean, how many second-year quarterbacks, you know, don't have question marks? I'm not afraid of failure. I think that's the biggest reason of that I don't feel pressure.
He grew up in nearby St. Pete, believing he was the one chosen to lead others to victory. At Gibbs High School, he did just that, turning a woeful team into a winner, before leading downtrodden Tulane to an undefeated senior season. It was at the Senior Bowl that King first gave the Bucs coaching staff a real taste of his talent.
You got to determine that you're going to be the guy to make the play. All the leadership qualities, the things that you would expect. I just liked his personality, the fact that somehow you just felt this guy was going to win a lot of games.
All week I told him, everybody, I want to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Sort of trickling out from there.
What started as a trickle this week soon turned to a torrent as Tampa became one of several Florida cities to be hammered by Hurricane Gordon. A fitting reminder of a day early last spring here at Gibbs High School, when Sean King turned a personal tryout with his beloved Bucs into a triumph.
The wind's got to be blowing 75 miles an hour, and he's throwing balls into the wind.
Regardless of the conditions, you know, you can go out and you can perform, and I wanted to, you know, show them that, you know, I don't make excuses. Let's go ahead and do it. You know, don't cancel it. Let's go.
That's what really sold me on him. He was ready to go. This is what we got to deal with. We'll get it done.
What King has done to date is shown remarkable poise and the ability to improvise under fire, earning the nickname Smoothie.
I don't let much rattle me. You know, I try and be the calm in the storm. If I can just deny self and play smart, and when we get opportunities, take them. When the opportunities aren't there, don't do anything that's going to hurt our ball club. I think we can win a lot of games.
Sometimes you have to wait for the right opportunity, and you have to be patient. And Sean's been able to do that this year. No interceptions in 3 games is great for a young quarterback.
Sean King, a long count, dropping. Now he'll run the ball. Touchdown!
I see a little bit of myself in Sean. I just think we're a lot alike.
I think that's what he really loves about me, is it feels like I'm an extension of him out there on the field.
And off the field, with 8 victories and 10 starts, this king now finds himself idolized by card-carrying followers of all ages.
Sort of like a dream come true. I think it's something that you have to enjoy. I think you'd be robbing yourself if you didn't allow yourself to enjoy some of the moments.
Hey, congratulations, Sean. What a great game.
Thank you.
We've waited a long time for that, buddy. I mean, a long time for a quarterback that actually has a touch pass. We appreciate that.
And more importantly, one who believes he has that winning touch.
Sean King has been nearly flawless thus far for the Buccaneers, and Dan Marino, you have to be impressed with the way that he manages the game.
Well, that I'm impressed with, but also his leadership and maturity. He's playing really well.
Yeah, and no quarterback controversy certainly here in Tampa, but in Washington with Brad Johnson,
can't be a problem.
A major controversy. And this week, the Redskins have to travel to New York to take on the Giants 3-0. What do you think?
Well, Chris, I think Brad Johnson's looking over his shoulder at Jeff George standing on the sidelines. He's been struggling. He's thrown 16 interceptions his last 12 games. He threw an interception last week, which cost them the game. I think the Giants are going to win because of the uncertainty at the quarterback position.
Well, the Giants have to decide who they are. Last week against the Bears, they come out throwing the football. That's not the Giants. They got the best guard in pro football, Ron Stone. Pound that ball in, lightning and thunder. Let the Giants run and they'll win.
I think the Redskins have the exact same problem. When they don't run Stephen Davis, it doesn't set up the play action. I have absolutely no idea. That's the reason that Brad Johnson is struggling so much. And when you go up and take on the Giants, you cannot run the football. The Giants are going to win this one. The other big matchup this week, we have Jacksonville going to Indianapolis on Monday night.
Well, you know, Jacksonville stops the run with the zone blitz, but the Colts have an offense with 2 tight ends that makes them check out of the zone blitz. They'll do that. Edgerrin James running up through there. Colts win.
Mark Brunell, the MVP of the league so far, just carried the team absolutely by himself.
No running game.
Little help from Jimmy Smith. And when you look at Jacksonville, even with the return of Fred Taylor, I just don't think they're going to be able to run the football at all. A lot of problems on the offensive line. I'm taking the Colts.
Well, I'm taking Jacksonville because I think Indianapolis is struggling on defense. They can't rush the passer. They only have 1 sack so far. I love the matchup between McCardle and Smith against Poe and Burris. I think Jacksonville's going to be able to throw the ball on them. I'm picking Jacksonville.
You should be a coach, you know that?
You know what? He's almost making me make my dreams.
Speaking of great coaches.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What?
Not Speaking of great coaches, let's now go back over to the Buccaneers practice facility where Nick Bonacani is standing by with head coach Tony Dungy.
It's early, Tony, but congratulations, 3-0, tied with Minnesota for the NFC Central. And I picked the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl, so I don't want you to let me down.
Well, we appreciate that. It is early, but we're playing well right now. And for us, it's kind of different. We normally have gotten off to slow starts and gotten better as the season went on, but we're playing well right now.
Well, I think one of the reasons you are playing well is your quarterback, Sean King. I mean, no interceptions, one of the top-rated passers in the NFC. But I want to talk about Jeff Christie, Randall McDaniel. You got them from the Minnesota Vikings. How have they helped your offense?
They have really helped us more than people know. They've been solid on pass protection inside, and we've been able, with them, to have a different kind of running game than we've ever had. We've pulled the center now. We've pulled Randall and Frank Middleton, and that's helped Warwick Dunn get back out in the secondary.
Well, the running game really looks like it's beginning to pick up.
And that's our staple. You know, we throw the ball, and Sean's done a great job. But if we're not running well, we generally have problems. And the first 3 games, we've been able to control time of possession and control the football on the ground.
Keyshawn Johnson, the centerpiece of your acquisitions in the offseason. Is he everything that you expected?
Keyshawn has been great for us. He's a guy that's really competitive. He's done a lot of things other than catch the ball. You know, he's blocked well for us. He's been a leader. He's practiced hard. So, yeah, he's been great.
We'll talk about other things. I want to talk about a little bit about what he said about Al Groh and Wayne Chrebet. He's not going to shake Al Groh's hand. Wayne Chrebet, he compares him as a second-rate receiver. That is so opposite to your low-key approach to football. How has that affected you?
Well, it's something that we talk about as a team, and we want to do things a certain way, but you have to have the freedom to be an individual, and you know, we know that that's part of the package with Keyshawn. You know, we've had some inside talks about it, but you know, that you have to take that also when you get him.
Talking about emotions, you really got upset on the sideline in that Detroit game. And a Hail Mary pass, Robinson, your safety, waited for the ball. Crowell darted in front of him, caught the touchdown, and you went ballistic. Again, a show of emotion that I've not seen from Tony Dungy.
That one was a tough one. I try to keep my poise on the sideline, but I lost it there. It was a big play in that we had played very well in the first half, and now we gave Detroit some momentum right at the end that was going to make it tough for us in the second half. So fortunately, we had halftime. I was able to calm down in the locker room.
What's wrong with emotion? I thought defensive guys are supposed to play with emotion.
Well, you are supposed to play with it, and I want those guys to play. I try to be cool and level-headed on the sideline. It doesn't always work. I have my moments over there.
Tony, best of luck this week against the Jets.
Thank you very much, Nick.
While Tony Dungy's Bucs are built on defense, the St. Louis Rams hang their Super Bowl hopes on an MVP's arm.
Fans traveled to the Trans World Dome last Sunday to witness the exploits of crowd-pleasing Rams quarterback Kurt Warner, the ringleader of pro football's greatest show on turf. San Francisco's Winfred Tubbs intercepted a pass on the game's first snap, and suddenly St. Louis owner Georgia Frontiere was praying for an end to the Rams' recent string of turnovers.
Play fake and a pump fake, and now Garcia throws down the left sideline. Open receiver, Beasley into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers on their first offensive play of the game.
Warner shrugged off a slow start and directed another record-breaking aerial circus. With what seemed the greatest of ease, Warner set a new NFL standard with 1,221 yards through the season's first 3 weeks. San Francisco's rookie cornerbacks were no match for the Rams' high wire act led by wideout Isaac Bruce. The 49ers hadn't lost 3 games to open a season since the debut of head coach Bill Walsh in 1979. But to beat St. Louis, you have to score more than 30 points, as the Rams have totaled at least that many in a league record 9 straight games.
Right side, ducks down, touchdown, Marshall Faulk. Good job. Looked like it was going to be a sweep to the outside, but he couldn't get outside the contain man. He cranked it back up inside, gets the 1-yard run for the touchdown.
Averaging over 40 points and 500 yards per game, the unbeaten Rams appear ready for another run at the record books. While Seattle is building a new stadium, the Seahawks are having a rough time getting comfortable in their temporary residence.
Blake's in the shotgun, calls for the football, well protected, steps up, delivers over the middle, it's caught by Keith Poole. Keith Poole brings it in, he's going to score! Keith Poole with the touchdown!
Poole's touchdown catch helped New Orleans carry a 3-point lead into the break.
That way, handoff Waters, big hole, dancing into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks!
In the second half, Ricky Waters shredded the Saints' top-ranked defense and rallied the Seahawks to their first win of the season. It looks like the Rams' abundance of firepower has started to spread across the Show Me State to Elvis Grbac and the Kansas City Chiefs. But in the first quarter Sunday, Grbac was shown up by San Diego safety Michael Dumas.
Intercepted on the far side, Michael Dumas. He can go all the way. Cuts back, he is gone. Touchdown, Dumas. Touchdown, Chargers.
Trailing by 10, Gunther Cunningham's Chiefs were faced with the daunting prospect of an 0-3 start. In desperate need of a win, the Chiefs abandoned their conservative style and let fate rest with the vertical passing game, where Grbac found a new favorite target.
One Sylvester Morris, right side, touchdown! Kansas City! A 36-yard bomb to the cat, Sylvester Morris. Grabac's going to throw it. It's to set his feet, throws it left for the end zone. Wide open, touchdown! Sylvester Morris, his second of the day. It's Grbac throwing long left. He wants the cat for the hat trick. He reaches up, and it is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. The cat in the house, going to the house for the third time in this game.
Grbac became the first Kansas City quarterback since Len Dawson in 1967 to toss 5 touchdowns in a game. scored 42 unanswered points to escape the ranks of the winless, while the Chargers will try to regroup and notch their first victory on Sunday when they'll host the Seahawks.
The beautiful Florida Aquarium, one of the best in the country. Let's take a look at some of these games I want you to pick, gentlemen. First, you got Kansas City traveling to Denver. This matchup used to feature Elway and Schottenheimer. Now it's Elvis, Gus, and Mike Anderson.
And you're talking about Gus Frerotte. He's going to have to start at quarterback because Brian Griese has the injured shoulder. Guess what? Stronger arm, quicker feet, and the Broncos run the ball anyway. Broncos win.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Elvis Grbac last week is harder than you are right now.
Yeah, he was good.
Which is pretty hot. But you're talking about an offense now that really looks like they're starting to develop something with the passing game. Sylvester Morris, 3 touchdown receptions in that ball game. But, Lenny, will Gunther Cunningham let him throw? That's the question.
He has to. He has to because they can't run the football. Let's take another look at another game. Cleveland traveling to Oakland. It's the youthful Browns versus the elderly Raiders in a battle of 2 surprising 2-1 teams.
You know, Danny, after 3 ball games, I never thought we'd be talking about the Cleveland Browns, but what do you like about them?
Well, we are. Defensively, they're playing a lot better. With #1 pick Courtney Brown and Keith McKenzie is a free agent. They're playing a lot better defensively. They got 14 sacks as a team, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop the run in Oakland. I'm picking Oakland.
Hey, how about that offense? Tim Couch, 68% completions, throwing to David Patton, 23 yards a catch, but still going to Oakland against Charles Woodson, can't get it done. I like Oakland.
I agree with you guys, meaning the Browns will no longer be in first place next week. You know, it's hot here, folks, but last week in Miami, the weather couldn't put a damper on Dan Marino's terrific retirement party or the Dolphins' ability to knock the Ravens from the unbeaten ranks.
There wasn't much that could dampen spirits in Miami, where Dolphin stars of the past gathered to honor one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. Dan Marino's number 13 was retired by the Miami Dolphins. The holder of every significant passing record in NFL history, Marino ended his brilliant 17-year career at the end of the 1999 season. Marino was always able to deal with the tempestuous South Florida weather, but for the uninitiated, it can cause some sloppy play. Ravens running back Jamal Lewis pounded the Dolphins' defense. But it was the legs of Miami quarterback Jay Fiedler and running back Lamar Smith that did the most damage.
Play action. Here is Fiedler with good protection. Now steps up in the pocket. He will scramble, little shovel pass, and down to the 20-yard line, Lamar Smith. He's to the 15, to the 10, and down to the 7-yard line. On first down, the pitch to Lamar. Cuts back to the left side. He's to the 5. He's following Fiedler. Got a block. He's in. It's a touchdown, Miami. All right, Miami. Back to pass. Good time. He's going to scramble up the middle. Fiedler now throws it to the 5-yard line. Diving into the end zone for a touchdown is Lamar Smith. Oh, my God, was that fantastic.
The win improves the Dolphins to 2-1.
Time to get us a win today. Need it.
That's right, baby. We got to get going, man. We got to get that first victory.
Hey, let's put it together today. Come on, let's be special, all right? Let's score a bunch, all right? Score on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sure.
The Vikings' first score came from running back Robert Smith.
Patriot fans are very loud. Handoff. Robert Smith breaks a tackle, heads to the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings off the left side.
Big drive. We took a lot of time off the clock. We got a touchdown. That's what we want to do right now. Take the crowd out of the game.
Kevin Falk brought the crowd right back in.
Handoff comes to Kevin Falk to the left. He's going to turn the corner and roar into the end zone. And touchdown.
Cody, right out the bat. Hey, T. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up.
Hey, they're having trouble lining up against a lot of our stuff now. So when we get in a formation I can sit in and try and go quick count as much as I can. So get up and get set. We can come off on them while they're still moving.
Minnesota's offense was still moving on the arm of quarterback Dante Culpepper right into the end zone.
Looks to throw, cocks and fires. Touchdown, Johnny McWilliams.
Wait, now take that roll and go with it now. Take it and go with it.
My guy's right here, and the safety's right here. Then if I go in, you're worrying about this guy coming off on the slant. That's the look right there. We got to throw that ball to Hatch.
Culpepper listened to his veteran receiver, connecting with Matthew Hatchett for his second touchdown pass of the day that put the Vikings up 21-7.
Way to go get that, baby. Way to go, way to go. Way to go get that. Way to keep it flat in the wind. And good adjustment, Hatch. I told you he was going to score today, didn't I?
The Patriots' defense stiffened in the second half, notching 3 sacks and stopping the Vikings scoring. But New England's offense found itself struggling to catch up.
Bledsoe, Coxon throws it deep downfield. Dishman is there.
Intercepted by Dishman.
Intercepts it at the...
Bledsoe was trying to mount a comeback, and a touchdown toss to Terry Glenn with 11 minutes remaining put the game within reach. Despite a botched extra point, New England was only down by 8.
Just remember now, when we score, we're going for 2. It'll be the too tight adjustment. It'll be the too tight shift, shout, tosser play.
On their last chance to score, the Patriots fell flat.
The 14, Bledsoe, pump, got him, trouble, he's going down at the 24. Bryce Pop comes in there, makes a huge veteran play, and somehow pinned Bledsoe's arm with the ball down so he couldn't throw it.
Where that Bryce Pop at? Bryce Pop! Oh, old ass Bryce Pop, where your old ass at?
A little winded. Woo! Great win. Woo!
Nice job, brother.
3-0.
Way to roll. It's awesome. Bring it up, bring it up. Great job, great effort. Offense first half, patience, a lot of things going on that were great, running the ball, physical. Defense in the second half did the exact same thing. We had 2 halves. The next time we got to put all of them together at the same time, but we'll take this one today. Great job.
Eagles head coach Andy Reid expected his team to put it all together against the quarterback he once coached, and Philadelphia did have Brett Favre scrambling, sacking him 5 times and keeping Green Bay out of the end zone for the first time in 69 home games. Packers head coach Mike Sherman had to count on his defense to stop the Eagles, and it did, limiting a team that had scored 41 points just 2 weeks earlier to a mere 3. Green Bay sacked Donovan McNabb 5 times, and this defensive game was tied at 3 with time running out, when Packers fans pinned their hopes on Ryan Longwell making the first game-winning field goal of his life.
Here's the snap from Rob Davis. Placement made. Upright, and it is good! Good! Ryan Longwell!
The Packers hadn't won after scoring less than 7 points since 1965.
The Vinoy Park Hotel, a celebrated landmark. That's the showplace of St. Petersburg's scenic waterfront. Let's bring in Gary Myers right now. We're inside the stadium. I'm telling you, I played in a lot of stadiums, but they didn't look like this. Let's talk about Keyshawn Johnson. He's been holding press conferences down here this week, kind of bad-mouthing his former team, the Jets. But what are the Jets saying about him?
Well, you know, Jets coach Al Groh has probably been Johnson's #1 target. Johnson blames him for the trade, well, pretty much taking Bill Parcells off the hook. This week, Groh has really not said very much about Johnson. He doesn't want it to be a distraction either to himself or to his team. Wayne Chrebet, who has been a constant target of Johnson for the last 4 years probably, this week, Monday, Sunday, Wednesday, did not make himself available in the locker room period. He's probably getting used to Keyshawn criticizing him. The most critical Jet of Johnson has been center Kevin Mawae, who quickly pointed out after the game on Sunday that they are 3-0 without Johnson. Johnson's response to that was that Mawae should concern himself with blocking Warren Sapp and Anthony McFarland.
Keyshawn, I know, was traded from the Jets to the Bucs, but how did that trade come about?
You know, Rich McKay, the Bucs general manager, was at a competition committee meeting in March when he picked up the morning paper and read that the Ravens were negotiating with the Jets in a trade for Johnson. He immediately got on the phone to Bill Parcells and told him that the Bucs were definitely interested and they would offer their 2 first-round picks. First, he wanted to do a little research on Johnson, came back with no red flags, and they eventually got the deal done.
How about Vinny Testaverde? You know, he was a quarterback here for many years. His last season was 1992, and he hasn't played a regular season game here since that time. What's his feelings?
Well, Vinny has said this week that he's treating this game as a business trip, and he's really not concerned at all how the fans react to him when he comes on the field. He lives in Tampa in the offseason, and he has said that the 2 most frequently asked questions of him this offseason was, how's your Achilles doing? And are you ever going to play for the Bucs again?
Let's talk about the Washington Redskins. They've lost 2 games in a row. And generally, a player is out of there because he's hurt or he's not playing well. Brad Johnson is not throwing the ball very well. I think he should be replaced by Jeff George. What do they think?
Well, Lenny, the Redskins did discuss as an organization this week whether to bench Brad Johnson and put in Jeff George for the game Sunday night against the Giants. Ultimately, North Turner decided that although Johnson needs to bring his game up a level, so does the rest of the offense, so the blame does not rest squarely on Johnson's shoulders. I think if he plays poorly on Sunday night, there's a chance he'll get benched against the Giants or possibly for the next game against Tampa. But this is what happens when you bring in a high-priced backup. There is pressure to play him at the first sign of trouble.
You got to win. That's all there is to it. Thank you very much, Gary. We'll see you next week.
Okay, Lenny.
Chris, back to you.
Thanks, Lenny. Life in Tampa is pretty good right now. Their football team is 3-0. They have a beautiful new stadium and even a pirate ship for their fans to enjoy. But times weren't always so booming for the Bucs.
It's to you, it's to you. You're gonna run the curl.
John McKay's Tampa Bay Buccaneers were not cut from championship timber.
It's all right. You had a catcher's mitt, you'd have caught it.
I think my dad was extremely frustrated by how long it took to become competitive. I actually stood, true story, behind a guy, and the equipment man asked him what size helmet he wore, and he said, I don't know, I'm not in shape yet. A player who shall remain nameless had an injury, and my dad called him over and sent him to the doctor, said, I want you to get that x-ray. And he came back about an hour later out to practice, and my dad said, did you get the x-ray? He said, yeah, but it doesn't feel any better. There were no free agents in the NFL then. The only way for an expansion team to get players was through the draft or through the allocation draft, which meant you got the worst players from every team in the league.
It's kind of tough to gauge really what the opposing players were thinking about us as they approached the game. I'm pretty sure they all was in consensus that, well, they're not a very good football team. The second thought might have been, we certainly don't want to lose to them. Toward the end of that year, you were beginning to kind of wonder, well, the odds got to be in our favor to win a game. We should win one game here, but it didn't happen. And Johnny Carson thought it was pretty comical. We were very often part of his monologue, and but for us, we really wanted to win.
10 yards is not very far on a football field, but when we broke the huddle, it may as well have been a mile. We felt some games we'd never make a first down.
Boy, these guys are almost gutless, and the ones that aren't that are brainless.
You tell those people up there to start giving us some information or go eat a hot dog or something.
You can't stop a pass or a run. Otherwise, we're in great shape.
One of his many famous quotes was in that first year when we had been particularly ineffective as a team, and somebody asked him, what do you think of your team's execution? He said, I'm in favor of it.
They lost all 14 games in their inaugural season, and in 1977, they were on the verge of repeating.
We're going to win. Now is the year that we're going to win, and we're going to win early. 17, 18, 20 comes along, you still hadn't won. And all of a sudden, you're looking at the end of the year with only a couple of games left, wondering, are we going to go through a whole nother season without a victory?
Then along came the New Orleans Saints.
When the game began, good things just started to happen. Things were just going our way. We were scoring touchdowns defensively. The offense was moving the ball and scoring points, and we were probably more surprised than anybody that we won the game. We didn't know how to act. We were over there wondering, well, what are we going to do now?
For an encore, these pillaging Pirates came home and made the Cardinals walk the plank.
And this is how bad it was. Both coaches of the opposing team got fired after we won the game. I mean, that's how bad it was to lose to us.
Just 2 years later, Coach McKay was carried off in triumph. has a dozen original Tampa Bay Buccaneers played in the NFC Championship game, forever bound by 26 straight weeks of defeat.
You can just think back and realize the price that you had paid to be in that position, and that was what it was really all about. It was worth it.
Florida's legendary Pink Palace, known as the Dawn, opened in 1928, which was before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's almost as old as I am. But you know what? The only funny thing about the 26 losses was that John McKay was a comedian during that time.
Well, I'm not laughing about my pick selection last week. Last week, Dan Marino in first place. For the season, Dan Marino in the first place. Now, let's take a look at some of the other games. There will be no hurricane in Baltimore to slow the Ravens down. The Bengals have one touchdown in 2 games. In Chicago, Cade McNown is struggling and he might be pulled. So Nick and Jerry like the Lions, but Chris, Dan, and I think the Bears are better than their 0-3 record. Chris and Dan think Brett Favre and the Packers finally get it going this week, but Nick, Jerry, and I like Simeon Rice to give the Arizona defense a boost. The Eagles have faded fast since beating Dallas in the opener. Jeff Blake and the Saints will beat them deep. Kurt Warner is on a record pace with over 1,200 yards passing through 3 games. Rams will smoke that Falcons secondary. New England can't run the ball, and the Dolphins' defense is allowing just 6 points a game. 49ers are off to their worst start since 1979, and now Jerry Rice wants out. Aikman or Cunningham, Dallas will make it 2 straight wins. John Kitna is playing better for Seattle. Ryan Leaf gets another chance for the Chargers, so the interceptions should keep coming. Tennessee's physical defense should contain the Steelers and Jerome Bettis. One of the reasons we're here is because of the terrific matchup between the Bucs and the Jets. Both are undefeated. And Danny, in the AFC, the Jets are the last one remaining.
Well, the Jets are undefeated, but Tampa is playing well defensively, but offensively, they're talking to their coaches. They're going to try to get the ball to Warwick Dunn a little more. So I look for Sean King to throw some dump passes, Warwick Dunn to get 10 or 15 touches a game. I like Tampa.
You know, the Jets convert 47% on 3rd down. They go to Curtis Martin. They go to Richie Anderson. But I look for Derek Brooks to take these guys out of the game. Tampa Bay wins.
Hey, I like the Jets also. But guess what? They haven't faced anybody like Mike Allstott. Forget the stats. 5-yard line. Give him the ball last week. Runs over the whole Detroit Lion team. He's a tractor. He wins.
All right, Jets' Coach. Pass rush is much better with those young pass rushers in there. But Les Steckel, the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, will not let Sean King get hurt. He may chip on both sides of the football to help those tackles in there. I look for Tampa Bay to keep it going here. I like the Bucs.
Vinny Testaverde will not have the time to throw against this team. They've got 18 sacks. That leads the National Football League. Plus the fact it's going to be hot here Sunday, and it's going to mean that the advantage is going to go to Tampa Bay. Folks, that's our show for this week. Join us next week when we return to our New York studios.
Super Bowl 30.